Active, and today I want to talk to you about how SEO is like getting dressed. So that might sound a little bit strange, but let me explain what I mean by that. So when you wake up in the morning or at whatever point of the day you decide to get dressed, you stand in front of your dresser, your closet, or whatever, wherever your clothes are. If it's a pile on the floor, that's fine too. If it's the laundry basket, whatever it is. And you look at it all and you say, okay, what am I going to wear today? And oftentimes you won't just pick the very first thing that kind of pops up. You think to yourself, what am I doing today? What is the weather going to be like? Who am I hanging out with? All these kinds of things you go through to try to figure out what you're going to wear. Are you going to be in a professional setting? Should you wear that button-up shirt? Or are you going to be doing some live videos representing your agency, and are you going to be wearing a Goonies t-shirt? Sometimes you make wrong choices, right? So you've got to think about these types of things, and that's the exact same thing with SEO. The fact is, if you go out wearing the incorrect clothing, you're either going to be viewed as inappropriate, or you're not going to be comfortable. I mean, if you're going to go, say, on a big hike, and you're wearing just like very heavy boots and a sweater in the middle of the summer, that's not going to be good or healthy for you. SEO is the same thing. Let me explain. When you do a search, let's say you did a Google search 20 years ago, you would get probably 3 ads and 10 organic search results that link to websites. You don't get that anymore, do you? Whenever you do a search result, a search in Google, you get a variety of things. Sometimes you get local listings, so a map with a bunch of businesses. Sometimes you get a bunch of questions. Sometimes you get a feature snippet. Sometimes you get a ton of ads. Sometimes there's an author bio box. Sometimes there's business information. Sometimes there's tweets. Sometimes there's YouTube videos. Sometimes there's recipes, right? There's all of these things that show up in the search results. So when you're planning to create a piece of content that serves a purpose that helps your customer, your avatar, the person who typically is going to come to you in some capacity, you need to think to yourself, how am I best going to serve that person? And how does Google feel that that person is best served? So what I would suggest that you do is do the equivalent of looking into your closet before you actually do any kind of content creation. What I want you to do is, you've got this keyword in mind, you've got this topic in mind that you want to write about, search it in Google. Find out what search results are being shown. If you find that videos are being shown, well, don't create a blog post and put it on your website. Create a video and post it on YouTube. Let's say that it's kind of a question-based thing, and you see a bunch of FAQs like appearing in the search results. Well, make sure that your post that you're creating is FAQ style, so you have an opportunity to show up in those little featured snippet areas, right? You want to make sure that you know what the search landscape is before you start creating content, before you start solving the problem. Make sure that you know exactly what type of content is going to be shown before you kind of jump in there. Because a lot of times, I know my partner Chris will always say that if the only tool you have is a hammer, everything starts to look like a nail, right? If you're a blogger and the only kind of tool in your tool chest is creating blog posts, you're just going to keep creating blog posts. Everything looks like a blog post. If you're, say, a videographer and you're doing everything through YouTube, well, guess what? You're just going to be making videos about everything. You're not necessarily going to be able to capture everything in the search engine. So please, please, please plan ahead, dress appropriately. If you dress inappropriately for your content, you're not going to be seen. You're not going to stand out. Nobody's going to find you. Case in point. All right. Thanks, guys. You are awesome.